Today's lunch break is mini band strength, so grab your set of loop or booty bands. You could also use a resistance band, a long tube band, or some dumbbells. We're hitting the floor, toes, knees, hips, nice straight line. We're going right into that glute bridge with a pull over on those arms. This feels like a big stretch. We're warming up our core, working those glutes, gentle pulling on that belly button. And you're going to reach your hands overhead, arms staying nice and straight, shoulders away from those ears. You can reach towards your thumbs, the top of your fists, or the back of your hands. As long as they're reaching all the way down to the floor, your arms are nice and straight. Big reach, good control. 3 seconds. Or flipping over, and we're going to that hands and knees quadruped with an external rotation. So a thumb up towards the ceiling. Give yourself a thumbs up for making time for your workout. Hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips, flexing those feet. And I want you to find that neutral back. This is that small arch in that low back. Gentle pull in on the belly button. My chin is tucked and my head is pushed back, creating that nice neutral spine from head to heels, all right, or hips in this case. Pointing the thumb up towards the ceiling, you should feel this warming up along the back side of those shoulder blades before we're up to those feet for that single leg balance and walking leg. We're warming up the shoulders and we're punching those hands through the floor, warming up the chest and the core. Hop up on those feet. We're going to balance on one leg, tap your toes behind, swing your leg in front, flex your foot, and curl the toes under. Our toes stay straight ahead. We're squeezing those glutes as we keep that chest up nice and tall, working our balance and good posture. It's a quick warm up, but we want to wake up those hips so they can help us stabilize in our squats and lunges. Big flex on that foot, tapping that heel in front. 3 seconds. We're going to switch sides. Switching legs, squeezing that glute to work that balance, and toes straight ahead. You might notice one side is more difficult than the other. That is totally normal. And as we tap in front, we're making sure that we're not reaching too far in front. All right, we want to make sure that all that weight stays on our one hip. We're getting that big flex on that foot, curling those toes under. I know it's a weird cue, but it's really important cue for supporting our feet, and it transfers into squats, lunges, and step ups. 2 seconds. Keep those feet moving. Our very first exercise is going to be a push-up. So hands wider than shoulder width, in line with those shoulders, nice and long. You're going to go down, exhale, big push-up. All right, no shoulder pain, no problems. If you need to, you can bring those hands just inside, just outside shoulder, and keep those elbows nice and close to the body. You can also do these on your knees, not letting those feet cross, or do them on an incline. 50 seconds to get about 8 to 10 repetitions. Nice control down, exhale and push up. Our belly button is gently pulled in. All right, we're having that nice controlled tempo. Our glutes are nice and tight as we push the balls of those feet through the floor if you're in that full plank position. My chin is tucked and my head is pushed back. 8 seconds. Nice down. Up and squeeze. All right. Grab that mini band. It's going to those knees. We're going to a static lateral lunge. So feet nice and wide, toes are straight ahead. My right heel, the leg that I'm leaning into, is almost in line with my toes on my opposite leg. And I'm sitting down, toes, knees, hips, nice straight line. My chest stays up nice and tall. And again, this is not a race. All right, my mini band is sliding with my pants today, and that's okay. You can add a set of dumbbells here. Don't worry if you do not have that mini band. You're still gonna feel that working through the side of those hips as you make sure everything is in a nice straight line. 5 seconds. I'm all the way up to like my glutes here on this band. It's no worries. Keep that band on those knees. Now, if you have another mini band, we're gonna go to a lunge with a row. So we're going down and back into a lunge, up, pulling back and squeezing that band. So pulling it apart as we squeeze it towards that chest. Squeezing those elbows about 45 degrees from the body. That means that band is going to tap that chest around the middle or at the bottom of that sternum. Most important, we want to keep our chin tucked and our head pushed back so we keep that good alignment. If we feel like our head is coming forward, that means you're probably pulling too far towards your body. And you're not working, you're working the upper back rather than the muscles that you're gonna feel working along the outside of those armpits. Woo! We're gonna go back. We're gonna go to that static lateral lunge on the opposite leg, lining it up, sitting down deep into that leg. Big up and squeeze. Since we're body weight only, unless you choose to grab those mini bands or those dumbbells, I want you to really focus on that tempo, on that control, on that body alignment. All right. This is more about position than it is about grabbing big weights. Unless you're very used to this position, you're making sure it's all good. You can add those dumbbells, really push that strength to the next level. But if you're really going for just that mini band and using that mini band as your resistance, it's awesome. We're going back to the top, push-ups. So we're doing 3 rounds of these 4 exercises, hitting our total body. Push-ups, hitting the floor. Keeping that band on, hands wide. Nice control down, big push-up and squeeze. The bottom range of motion for a push-up is when that upper arm is about parallel to the floor. The forearms should stay perpendicular to the floor. That is what's pushing you up. And at the top, I want you to punch all the way through. Like you're pushing that floor away as far as you possibly can. Feeling that chest get that extra engagement. That extra lock. One last one right here. You do that, it's going to take it up a notch. I'm going to show you what this would look like if I'm grabbing those dumbbells. Nice and wide on those feet. Notice I switched which leg I'm doing. I'm going to show you from a different angle. My heel is slightly forward, so it's in line with my opposite foot's toes. My chest should be about parallel to my shin. As I sit those hips down and back, my chest stays up nice and tall. And I'm going from looking at the floor about 3 feet in front of me to about 6 feet in front. This helps me keep that chin tucked, the crown of the head extended. And every time I push through, I'm squeezing the glutes. Right here, 3 seconds left. Big push through and squeeze. Getting that extra glute squeeze in there is always a good time. Now, if you don't have a mini band for that squat to row, we can hit a quadruped position. Pushing one leg up into that band. Actually, we'll just do a quadruped row. Hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. pulling a dumbbell towards your hip, squeezing your back, exhaling as you do so. That is extremely safe for that back position. If not, you're going to go down and back into that lunge, up, big pull back and squeeze. Now this is your back movement. So you want to focus on feeling this along the outside of those armpits. Big pull back and squeeze. Toes straight ahead in line with those knees and hips. Woo! Flying through. Get ready. We're going to switch which leg we're doing for that static lateral lunge. As I normally tell you, you want to try to keep count of how many you're doing. And then you want to do the same number on each side. And I'm going to grab weights because I used weights for this, the opposite leg on this round. I want to try to keep things even. As we use those weights, we want to just make sure that we're lining everything up. Toes, knees, hips. I know I say it a lot, but it is the fundamentals. Building strong position and stability. And then adding weight on to help stabilize our body and build healthy, strong muscle to prevent injury and total health. Are you ready for round 3? Push-ups. Here we go. Hands wider than shoulder width. If those arms are coming nice and wide. Or if you have any shoulder pain here, you can bring those hands in close, keeping those elbows close to that body. Remember, 2 count down. Exhale, 2 count back up. Chin tucked, head pushed back. We're not reaching that nose to the floor. And we're punching those hands all the way through. If you need to, you can drop to those knees. 10 seconds left. You're going to work and push all the way to that finish line. Down. Exhale, push up. Belly button in. Tight core. Woo! Shake out those arms. That upper body, it's working hard. Go ahead into that staggered, static, lateral lunge. Wherever you want to put those hands, pay attention to that body position. Watching toes, knees, hip. Nice straight line. Pushing through that whole foot. Squeezing those glutes. Chest up tall and belly button in. You're making every lateral lunge count. You're going to feel it working in the side of those hips, right? The side of your butt. You also may feel it along the inside of that quad. 6 seconds. That would be like the front of your thigh. Beautiful work. Squat with your row in 3 seconds. Are you ready? Oh, I'm sorry. We're actually doing that lunge down and back with that row. Toes straight ahead. All 5 toes on that back foot are tapping or pushing through the ground. We're squeezing those glutes every time we bring those feet into that kinetic position. Toes straight ahead, hip width apart. Chest up tall. Big pull back and squeeze. Almost there. As we go down, notice that that band is going to want to pull that knee in. You have to work in those hips to keep that knee in line with those toes. Keeping that strong kinetic balance, right? Shake it out. 3 seconds for our very last exercise. Right here, right now. Here we go. Sitting down deep. Big up and squeeze. You will be amazed by how much these mini bands challenge your body, especially when we're moving side to side. And a lot of people like to call this the injury prevention plane. I couldn't agree more. It's a big push up and squeeze, but you get the most out of it by making sure your form is on point. Under 10 seconds, getting the same number of repetitions in, locking that front leg, squeezing those glutes. Take that band off. Quick stretch. Going into my favorite, right into those hip flexors. Toes straight ahead, hip width apart into that lunge position. Back toes tucked under. Big squeeze on those glutes. Can then reach up towards the ceiling with the hand that's on the same side as that bottom leg. You can even add a small lean to the side. This stretch is very focused for the front of the hip, down into that thigh, shoulders staying away from that ear. And we're breathing. You already finished the hard part. I know this extends a little over that 15 minutes. So if you've run out of time, skedaddle, but make sure you're stretching those hip flexors. Go ahead and switch legs. Take another 15-minute break and do a stretch in that 15 minutes. Open up those hips. Helps reduce back pain, hip pain, knee pain, all of the above. Nice slight lean to the side. Oh, that stretch feels so good. One of my favorites. Beautiful work. Toes together, knees wide. We're hitting that child's pose. Reaching those hands away with those shoulders away from those ears. Let those hips fall towards those heels. Big deep breath in. Expand the belly. Exhale. Sink down deeper into that stretch. Big deep breath in. Exhale. Beautiful work today. I know you don't have a lot of time, and that's why you end up picking these 15-minute workouts. But what's most important is that you got some movement in, a small step forward towards your goals. You can make changes. You can make progress in just 15 minutes by making that time for yourself. Let me know what you think of this workout. I hope you found some kinetic balance and you're feeling great. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time.